What's up, everybody? It's the spiritual light, Miss Pat, passing through. What's going on? I'm back at you with another video, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of more things that people did not realize happened after Mota died. Okay, and seeing that this is Passover, this will be a good time to fill in some blanks because we as the reader of what has happened and transpired with the crucifixion of Mozart only are left with, you know, the disciples are upset. He's actually being crucified. He's being killed, and his mama and Mary Magdalene are there, and then his other brother James is there. You understand what I'm saying? And the curtain kind of closes on that, and then all of a sudden 3 days later he's ascending to heaven. Well, I'm about to fill in some blanks now. Last time I filled in some blanks about what happened when he went down to hell. We all know he went down to hell, paid Sammy Haza and Hades a visit. Okay, but there was a couple of other things that happened once he brought all of those people back up from out of hell, and that's where I'm about to step in and show you all a couple of things. Now, when he came out of hell, there were people who he resurrected, and those people actually went home to their families, scared the hell out of a lot of people. Okay, but he did this for a reason, because those scribes that lied on him, and the TD Jakes of that time and stuff like that, lied on him because he was getting too much popularity, and they wanted to get rid of him, and he was making their world obsolete. They lied and said, yeah, with that famous "let it be on our children's and children's head" bullshit. Yeah, them. They got nervous after Moses died, okay? And they had to think about what happened, because after he died, there was an earthquake that happened. The temple veil was rent. And what you don't understand is that there was an angel called Carmiel that did that. He was one of them big angels that usually probably up there with the Heavenly Father, that was so mad that these people on this earth did this to their brother. You understand? Because they were telling Carmiel to come on up. Come on up. We got all the people out of hell. I need you to come with me. He looking back at them like, how dare y'all put y'all hands on my motherfucking brother? So, you know what I'm saying? And he literally hit the earth with that earthquake and ripped the temple. And then at that point, he left. Okay? Let you know, Mozart got some brothers up there that could do some damage, and they weren't too kindly and really happy, or took too kindly to y'all putting, to any of our ancestors putting their hands on their brother. Because see, what people don't understand is that the Heavenly Father, other than the higher ups inside of heaven, knew what Mozart was told to do. Mozart came down here in complete and utter disguise. Okay, not even half the angels in heaven knew he was down here. He went past all of them. His high glory that he had in heaven, he did not have, as his father told him, descend down to heaven, descend down to earth, all the way through the heavens, not letting anybody know who you are, all the way down, including the angels on the left hand side. Do not let them know who you are. So when he went down to through each heaven, and basically they just thought he was another angel working on their level, on their station, and all the way down, even through the demons. You know what I'm saying? He looked like one of them, so they didn't question him. Plus, he went right past them because they busy fighting each other. The demons are busy fighting each other. Somehow I look better than you, and doing a normal evil shit. Okay, and at that point, he ended up on earth, and no one knew that royalty was here. Okay, so you have to understand how the Most High played, how Heavenly Father played this with his son. So when he died, yes, there was a lot of angels pissed off because they didn't realize to after he got ready to, come up, ascend, that somebody big from the, seventh heavens done ascended down to earth, and we didn't even know nothing about it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how Father is. He don't let the right hand know what the left hand is doing. Okay? So now we are at a point where these scribes are now nervous because they done opened up their mouth and put a seal on something that they wasn't ready for. Now, you all know that Pontius Pilate was a part of this situation too. And let me tell you, Pontius Pilate got beheaded behind this shit as well. Okay, so some stuff went down when our brother died. Okay, now while he's down in hell talking crazy, snatching, putting paws on Sammy Haza and down there in Hadesville, in Hades' house, things are going on upstairs too. All right. Now Pontius Pilate is dragged in front of Caesar, and Caesar finds out, like, you all killed somebody innocent. We felt this earthquake all the way here in Rome. Who the hell did you kill, Pontius? And he like, is that the Hebrews told me to kill him? You know what I'm saying? That I didn't want us to get in the middle of all of their stuff and everything. I kept trying to not kill him. He was innocent, yes, but his folks were saying it goes against their law, so I had no choice. And Pontius Pilate was like, never in the history of us doing anything have we seen anybody get killed on a crucifix and there was an earthquake and the heavens changed. Why, if you could not understand what to do, Pilate, why didn't you bring him over to me? Why didn't you put him inside, transport him to Rome so I could have talked to him? Do you understand what opportunity we just missed right here? For this screw up, I'm definitely killing your ass because we could have used this guy on our team. What were you thinking? Total Gentile type stuff going on here, okay? Now, Pontius Pilate had a conversation. Y'all remember, he was having a conversation back and forth with Moses before he had died and things like that. And remember, his wife told him, don't put your hands on him because I've been having bad dreams about this situation and now it's here. I don't think you should have nothing to do with this man. Don't do this. He did not listen. And he went on, okay? He washed his hands of it, but that washing his hands wasn't the end of that story. He got in trouble by his higher-ups, and Caesar beheaded him. But before he got beheaded, he actually prayed to Moses and the Heavenly Father and asked that they cover his wife because she had nothing to do with this, and that they forgave him, and that somewhere in his kingdom that he could find a place. And Moses said to him, he said a voice came out of nowhere and told him, "What your wife will be fine and covered out of this situation as you have asked, and there will be a place for you in my kingdom," because he knew his heart, and they cut off his head right there. Okay, so that was the fate of Pontius Pilate that we knew nothing about. The next thing that happened is regarding us, okay? When it came down to us, Caesar was like, you know what? These Hebrews are getting on my nerves. I was sitting up here trying to find a way to probably work around them and things like that. But after this bullshit with Pontius Pilate and everything and killing an innocent man who clearly he said his kingdom, he wasn't coming after my kingdom. You know what I'm saying? He could have probably been an asset to us. I'm sick of these people. I'm sick of these Hebrews. You know what? I'm going to make this edict. Wherever you find them, put them in captivity. I don't care when, how, where, wherever you find them, their ass is out. Ass is out for all Hebrews anywhere and everywhere. Shut them down. And that's how in 70 AD everything went berserk. And Ezra, and you start hearing the things that happened in Ezra and stuff like that about how Moses basically felt about us not following his direction. And Ezra wrote quite a bit on that subject. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't like reading Ezra because I don't like hearing about how upset my brother was with his little brothers and sisters, because he was really upset. Anybody who's ever put themselves on the line for somebody could understand how Moses felt. And how he just said, you know what? I'm going to take y'all blessings and give them to your enemy. You're going to sit there and watch people do all kinds of things. You're going to sit up here and build houses and never live in them. You're going to plow fields and never eat the food of them. He just went in. And our brother is thorough. He thorough in when he say what he says and means what he means. Okay? Because what happened over here when the Spaniards and all of these other people came over. What happened over here during the Inquisition? What happened during the Inquisition and all things through history? When you read Ezra, Second Ezra, you can see in your mind the history plain as he was going off. Because he went off in Ezra. He lost his temper with us in Ezra. Okay? And Ezra was saying, is there any way we can fix this? Oh, Lord. He like, I can't even really beg for our people because our people on some bullshit. You understand? That you know when you're in a situation when you feeling like these people have no idea what they have done. And we did not know who we had killed. Okay? Even Pontius didn't know who he had killed. He had a damn good idea. But he didn't know what was getting ready to be set into motion. And these scribes that's sitting around now, they nervous. Man, Pontius got beheaded over this shit, man. What we gonna do? Jakes, what we gonna do? I don't know, Perry. You know what I'm saying? We had no idea what the fuck. Man, we didn't think it was gonna be like this. Who was this dude? You the one wanted to keep following this dude around and messing with him. Now we in something. We done cursed our own damn kids now. Oh, Lord. What we gonna do? That's what happened. Now, most of them brought people up from out of hell, and he done told a few, you go home, you tell them exactly what happened. Okay, I'll see y'all a little later. Everybody else come with me. Whew, okay, everybody gone. Now, these people who he resurrected had been dead for quite some time, showed up at their people's house. Do you understand? If I was a wife, my husband had been dead 5-6 years, and this dude show up at my door, I'm passing the fuck out. What? You understand? These are the types of things that was happening around Mozart dying. So now these scribes are going, and they said, man, it's a bunch of people who were dead are now alive, and they at their people's houses. We need to go see what's going on, man. Because it's getting real obvious we done fucked up big time. And they go and see these people, and these guys sat down and they wrote down, what happened to them and their account down on paper for them. Okay? And the scribes was like, separate everybody so we know that their stories ain't the same and everything. You know, they got to do the most right now, trying to make sure ain't nobody lying. Well, they separated those people, and all those people had the different stories, and they same stories is that they would sleep, somebody called them, and all of a sudden they were down there they were in hell with all of, with David and Isaiah and Adam, you know what I'm saying? And what is it? King Solomon, everybody, they was all in one place. And this man came down and he released all of us, and now I'm alive. You know what I'm saying? They were like, this is insane. Okay. So now they scared, super scared. Okay. They did some stuff on the eve of Mozart dying. Okay, after Mozart had died, with the body situation with Nicodemus. Okay? They locked Nicodemus up because he went and got the body and pulled it down, when he had a little bit of, a little juice and stuff like that, being a lawyer and everything. And he asked to have Jesus' body so he could put it away inside of a grave correctly so they wouldn't do nothing, funky to it and just keep bothering the man. Let him rest. They found out Nicodemus had took the body. They upset. So they go and lock this dude up in a place where ain't got no windows, no nothing. Most of them went to hell, came back. He getting ready to come back on the planet itself. He go get Nicodemus out of this place they locked him in. He said all of a sudden he was in there in this room where the scribes had locked him in. Because they thought that Nicodemus might try to steal the body, seeing as that he was able to get it off of the, off the tree or whatever, get his body off the crucifix thing, off the hill. They lock him in there, and Mozart comes in, appears in there with him. And he said he couldn't see him because it was like this big bright light that was in there with him, and because there was no other windows. And then all of a sudden, this room in which he was in was lifted up, and he told him to come from up underneath there. And then it was brought back down. I was like, what? He took him up out of there. Okay? He literally took Nicodemus out of this thing. So the next day, when the scribes came to try to get Nicodemus out, because at this point they realizing that Nicodemus was locked up, and inside the tomb, the rock has been rolled back. Jesus is no longer there, and they said Nicodemus, there's no way Nicodemus could have did it because Nicodemus was locked up. Now we got a problem. They go in and find out that Nicodemus ain't even in there. They like, oh Lord, we done, folk. Okay. They done get all of these accounts of these dead people who were once dead awake. Nicodemus has been removed out of a room they locked him in, and now Moses' body is disappeared. Can you spell? We done fucked up. Okay, so they run around nervous. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to handle what has just happened. Okay. Meanwhile, you have Caesar getting ready to come in and really shut shit down and have all the Jews running, all the Hebrews running all over the place. World is finna switch upside down. When we killed Moses, all hell broke loose on Hebrews. It wasn't no waiting period. It was a few days behind some things, and then all hell broke loose. Okay, he came back for a few days and talked to his disciples. In fact, the cool thing about Moses is that not only is he in hell getting people out of hell and having conversations with Sammy Haza and Hades, he is also, while he's hanging on the cross, having conversations with his own disciples, telling them, they got me, y'all. When you walk up there and see me, that is not me. Okay? Understand. That's not me. I suffer a little bit, but I'm not up there like that. Okay? He's telling them. So don't lose your mind. But understand, I'm about to give you something. And I think it was John. He was up in the mountains and Moses was getting crucified, and Moses was having a conversation with him. And he told him, when you go down there, this is what you're going to see happening to me. But right now, I need to give you this Alabet. I need to give you this, what is that? The Anabakova. Okay? He's giving him he's giving him some serious stuff. He's trying to let you know the end game with this. Okay? And I was just completely floored at how much multitasking was going on at the time of his death. So don't think during this Passover that our brother was just, you know what I'm saying? He just died and we killed him and that was the end of it. No, it was a lot that went on. And it lets you know that that was the opening of the door for when all the Hebrews got expelled out of Jerusalem. Is right behind, not too long after he died. That was it for us. You understand what I'm saying? And we got ran up out of Jerusalem. But the other thing I wanted to address in this video, and this is going to be longer than most of my other videos that I usually do, is that in the apocalypse of Ezra, there is this one part I wanted to read to you all, so you all can understand just how, our brother is gangster, but I need to let you really understand this, because I made you laugh in the other one, but this is reality. This is how our brother get down. And this is, it says, called The Man from the Sea. And this is from the Apocalypse of Ezra. It is found inside the Apocrypha Pseudepigrapha of the Old Testament, Volume 2, if you want to go find this. And it says, and it came to pass that after 7 days I dreamt a dream at night. There arose a violent wind from the sea, and it stirred all its waves. Out of the heart of the seas, the wind caused the form of a man to come up. I looked, and this man flew with the clouds of heaven. Wherever he turned his countenance, everything he saw trembled. Wherever his voice went out of his mouth, all that was heard, his voice melted away as wax melts when it is near fire. After this I saw that from the four winds of heaven was gathered together an innumerable multitude of men to make war against the man who came up out of the sea. But he cut out a great mountain and flew upon it. I tried to see the region or place from which the mountain had been cut out, but I could not. And then I saw all who were gathered together against him to wage war. They were seized with great fear. They dared to fight. When he saw the assault of the multitude coming near him, he lifted his head nor head. He neither lifted his hand nor head, nor spear, nor any weapon, but out of his mouth sent a fiery stream from his lips, a flaming breath, and from his tongue shot forth a storm of sparks. And these were all mingled together, the fiery stream, flaming breath, and storm. It all fell on the assault of the multitude, which was preparing to fight, and it burned them all up. And so suddenly that the innumerable multitude was nothing but dust of ashes and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was amazed. Later I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call another multitude to him, which was peaceful. The faces of many men drew near him, some glad, some sorrowful, some in bonds, some brought, others who were offered an oblation. The interpretation of this dream. This is where you need to pay attention. These are the interpretations of the vision. Since you saw a man coming up from the heart of the sea, it was he whom the highest one is keeping for many ages, and through whom he will deliver his creation. He will determine the survivors. Since you saw that wind, fire, and storm come out of his mouth, that he held neither spear nor weapon, but destroyed the assaulting multitude who had come to fight against him. Here is the interpretation. Behold, the days come when the highest one is about to deliver those who are on earth, and these earth dwellers will be astonished. They will plan to war against each other, city against city, place against place, people against people, and kingdom against kingdom. And when these things come to pass, and the signs happen that I showed you, then will my son be revealed as the man you saw ascending. Okay? While nations hear my voice, every man will leave his own land, and the warfare of one against another, and the innumerable multitude will be gathered together as you saw, desiring to come to fight against him. But he will stand upon the summit of the Mount Zion, and Zion will come, and will be made manifest to all men, prepared and built, as you saw the mountain cut out without hands. Okay? But he, my son, will reprove the nations that have come for their ungodliness, and rebukes are like a storm which will reproach them to their face with their evil thoughts, and with tortures, in which they were destined to be tortured like flame. Then he will destroy them without labor by law, which is like fire. Now, does our brother sound like he playing with anybody? He don't need nobody's help. He can do this all by himself, okay? What we need to understand is what they were saying is, and a lot of people sit up here and say, oh, it's going to be aliens that come through. It's aliens. Well, I mean, it's clear. Don't you see the chariots and stuff like that just flying through the sky? All the time at night. When you're like, what is that? And people are like, what is that? Yeah, that's them. Okay? The other thing that you all don't understand is that he told you, my kingdom is not of this world. There you go. And the other thing that you don't see is that what everybody's going to do is that when the earth starts acting up and then there's this big gigantic earthquake felt around the world, and people going to be like, oh Lord, this is the end of the world. Here we go. And then all of a sudden there's going to be the sky full of ships and things like that. all of these fights and things that people are having once against each other, they going to stop fighting each other. And they're going to turn around as the humans of the earth and fight against him, because they don't know what that is. And just like most Gentiles, if they don't understand something, what do they say? Kill it. Okay, that's total caveman shit. They don't want to ask it no questions. Just kill it like a roach, and then we go back to fighting each other. Stupidity at its highest, okay? But that's how they do things. But except this time it's not going to work. Because like he said, he going to be able to get rid of them with nothing. Nothing at all. Not even lifting up one little finger. It's going to be over with, okay? And what you all have to understand is that I can see this totally happening. Right now, they are setting the stage to fight one another, okay? You have Russia and America trying to do their little thing to come together, and Russia is basically telling everybody, look, you go ahead and jump on a bandwagon with America and see what the hell happened to your country, especially if you got to buy gas and coal and heat from me. So these other countries are thinking about their situation, their bottom line, and everybody ain't on a big, rah for America and NATO right now. So this is going to cause some problems, especially about the money situation. See, you got to understand, we're dealing with greedy, evil-ass people. It ain't got nothing to do with me and you yet. It's not affecting you going back and forth to work yet, but it will. Okay, so, and then we also still have a plague out here as well. So things are going literally according to plan. As our brother told us in the beginning, nothing has left the menu or off the agenda, okay, that he threw down. It's happening as he said it would, okay? Now, people sit up here and say, if it's coming through the clouds, it's not Jesus and this and this and that. That's because you don't understand about prophecy. All the things that happen inside of Revelations, many of the things that happen in Revelations already happened. That happened to our ancestors earlier on in the fourth part, which is this part of the world, before any of these folks got over here. They came over here killing and pillaging in South America, in the Northern Kingdom, and in the Southern Kingdom, as well as inside of Canada, all these other places. They went around killing millions of people. Okay? We are at that part of the story where people think, oh, it's going to take a while to get to there. No, we're already there, baby. You understand? The mark of the beast. The mark of the beast has always been your money. You can't do nothing without it. What does America do to anybody who don't fuck with them and their money? They make a war and try to kill you and take your resources. That's what they do. They've been doing it all this time. Do you understand? You just don't know the time in which you're in, because they've lied to you and had you sitting your ass inside these churches being told lies by people in well-dressed suits. You don't know what time it is. Just as late in the game. We're coming to the part where basically we're being spiritually resurrected right now. The dry bones are becoming alive and animated. That's the reason why you see more and more people. You understand? I don't have a problem with camps and things like that. It's just I wish they would just read a little bit more. I really do. Because I think these gentlemen could really take this to other levels if they wanted to, and really get people prepared for things. But I know the Most High is going to touch those different places if it's meant for them to know. You understand? Touch different groups of people and make them go a little bit further and start putting the dots together with history so you can understand what's going on here. And he said that it will be his children that will put the dots together and wake up in the land of their captivity and remember who they are. And that's exactly what's happening right now. And people like me, Big Judah, Abdul Asir, Brother Man, all of these different people are trying to get to wake your ass up. Like, come on. Some people don't want to wake up. Some people want to stay in La La Land a little longer. Okay? Y'all want to stay in the area where Pinocchio was, where they turning everybody into asses. Okay? That time is over with. Now it's time to really wake up to understand what's happening. No other time in history has this ever happened. So this is the reason why I do understand that this is a very pertinent time right now. Very important time, because people say, well, And when we had wars before, people thought these were the last days, and that was the last days, and this and this and happened. A lot of different things a little bit different than they was when I heard that same statement when I was younger. I heard my grandmama say, "These are the last days we living in. Look at the weather and all this other stuff." Well, I'm sorry, back in the 80s and 90s, the sun still looked like a normal sun to me. We had a couple of bad storms here and there, but it was never like this, and never had not the church not been packed. Right now, we have a pandemic that makes it where most people are very scared to be inside these crowds. Now, you got some diehard Christians that's going to go to church any damn way, but majority of people saying, no, I don't think I'm about ready to go back in the church and be around people right now, especially with this, this plague going on right now. So more people are on here trying to find different people who are talking about the word, and they're falling on this knowledge more and more every day. So they're beginning to wake up, and people are starting to read now and understand. You understand? So everybody's not sitting around blind anymore. All right. So that wasn't happening when I was in high school. That wasn't happening when I was in college. This is like the biggest awakening I have ever seen. And I'm not sure about you, but I know it's a lot more people talking about this subject now, not, on social media as well as on platforms like this. So I know I'm not the only one seeing this. And a lot of people are starting to feel a little different about how things are right now. So when people say they don't know if it is or not, if the end is here or not, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the sun doing things it didn't do back in the 80s. Okay. I never seen the sun cook plants from the inside out. That's not something that normally happens. Now, were they messing with the weather and going in and out of the stratosphere, punching holes in the ozone and all of that? We don't know how bad it is. Now, NASA is no longer a government entity. It's a private entity. So we don't know how many times they punching through that atmosphere and that ozone, causing all kind of problems on this planet. We don't know. You understand? But the reality is that the time is lining up with a lot of literature in which we're reading, and that cannot be denied. Okay, so there's a lot of things that's happening right now, and I think a lot of us need to take time, read, and I'm not really big on reading things on here, but I wanted to read that to you so you can understand your brother ain't playing no games with y'all. It's a wrap for this. It's a wrap for this. No matter how much your Gentiles want to rockabye your ass back to sleep, it's not happening. Every time you try. I mean, I looked at the news. If Hong Kong was shut down and locked up because they got a high surge inside this, inside Rona. Now you got Shanghai locked up and because they got a high surge, and over there in China and things like that. And then Europe is having a problem. The numbers here in Chicago are ticking up. They can try to dance and hopscotch around this subject all they want to. At the end of the day, something big is going on, and we all see it and we all feel it. But anyway, I ain't gonna keep you all much longer. I don't like having long videos, but I will see you guys in the next video. You all take care. Bye bye.